Hey guys, so in this video I want to explain exactly what we're doing in the morning practice of the Self-Transformation Challenge and why we're doing it exactly. So what happens is in the morning when you wake up, um, in the morning, the first thing that happens is your brain boots up like a computer and basically it starts running um, all the software programs that form your individual human identity. And so that, our human identity is basically an illusion. What we are in the core, what we are essentially is our soul. And so our soul has decided to, come down to earth and, have, human experiences. So, um, so yeah. So the whole human identity thing is an illusion. That's not who you truly are. You're not the identity that you think you are. So your identity includes things like your psyche, your likes, your dislikes, your mindset, your beliefs, your assumptions about the world, your beliefs about yourself, and those things are part of your so those things are part of your past or your weird. In the Norse, it's weird, spelled Wyrd, is a Norse term for a belief that the present creates the past and the past creates the future. So by changing the present, we can change our past and our future, basically. So, what happens is every day when you wake up, your brain boots up and starts running your software programs. These are your unconscious programs, by the way. You're not conscious of everything that you've been programmed with at birth, like since birth. And in fact, the first 3 years of your development of your human life are the most important because that's when we are totally unconscious and we get programmed with the beliefs, the assumptions, the habits, the values that our parents have. So, whether that's good or bad programming depends on our parents, really. So, these software programs, these programs about your identity, they help you remember your identity and your psychology, your psychological programming. So they help you remember your identity and things like that. So this program kicks in and it's got a path for you to go. So every morning when you wake up, your programming kicks in and it's got a path for you to go. Okay, and that's the direction your life heads. And that program determines how successful, unsuccessful, wealthy, poor, happy, or unhappy your life is going to be. Yeah. So, and that's all due to programming. If we don't do something to overwrite that programming, then it'll just keep running the same program over and over and over. And remember, again, your unconscious mind is designed to keep you safe. So, it'll do destructive things, hoping to keep you safe. So, but it's dumb like that. It doesn't know that that you're trying to actually succeed in life. It's just designed to keep you safe, which it deems safe as being loved by mommy and daddy, basically. So, let's see. So yeah, this program determines how successful, unsuccessful, wealthy or poor, happy or sad or happy or unhappy your life will be. And this program includes all your projections. Your projections are things like the world is this or I am that. things like that. The world is a harsh place. I am, a loser or whatever it might be. So, could be anything really, it just depends on how you're programmed. So your life is on a track and it can't be changed really, because once again the program is set on doing its own thing, and so it's hard to change that. But this practice allows you to do that. So what we do in the morning practice is we will do physical exercises that stimulate the Kundalini to rise, and that will open the third eye, so you can see yourself more clearly. Yeah, and the whole point of the third eye opening is to become conscious of your unconscious issues. That's the whole point of it. It's not to see, because it's not to see like spiritual things or angels or demons or whatnot. That's just silly. That has no practical value in the world. But healing your psychology, that's what has value. So let's see. So yeah, so the whole point of this exercise, this morning exercise, is you'll get your spine moving and stretch in a way that the chakras will ignite and assist your psychological evolution and transformation. So yeah, by doing this, the morning practices, it's all to do with the Kundalini and the spine, and moving the spine in different ways, and really getting that Kundalini to rise up the spine. And this basically triggers your chakras to open up and to get the energy flowing. So it's really helpful, actually. The goal of the morning practice is to get you completely operating from your soul, which is in your heart center. So by the end of the 90-day morning practice, you'll feel a strong connection with your heart, and yeah, trust me, it's very powerful. The connection with your heart, like this practice basically opens up your heart center, and it like just removes all those blocks that are blocking you from connecting with your soul. So it's very powerful. So the focus of the morning practice is to get to know what exactly what you want in life, what your soul desire is. So yeah, that's the main focus, is to connect with your soul. You gotta know what your soul wants, or else you'll be just operating from your psychological programming. So the focus of the morning practice is to get to know what exactly you want in life. So I'd like to use the following questions to make a list of all the things that you want out of life. Yeah, so here's the questions. So I want you to think about these questions and think about, what it is that you would do if you lived in a fantasy land and all that. So, and like if you had no restrictions on yourself, like what is it that you would be doing? I know a lot of us make excuses that, oh, if I had money, if I had, the time and money to do my passion, then I would. So here's the questions. So here is the questions. So question 1 if you lived in a fantasy land where you didn't have to work or make money, and all you needed, all your needs were met, so you didn't have to work, didn't have to make money, and all your needs were met, what would you do? And so yeah, think about that and write it down. Write your answers down. Next question is, if you didn't have to live up to anyone else's expectations, what would you do? Think about that and, write it down. Think about it for a minute, actually. For a good, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And just write your answers down. The next question is, if you could only do what made you happy and gave you joy, regardless of how irresponsible, silly, ridiculous, impractical, or wrong it is, what would you do? If you could only do what made you happy or gave you joy, what would you do? Go ahead and write that answer down. Okay, so you have all your answers down. So now think about what you want. Think about that and write down all the things that you want. All the things that you want out of life. All the things your soul wants, and all the things that give you joy. So you should have written that down by now. And if you can't figure it out, don't worry. Just do the best you can and write down, I want to figure out what I want. So write down, actually, like, if you can't think of anything, just write down, I want to know what I want. What my soul wants. I want to figure out what I want and what my soul wants. So, and that's a perfectly good goal too. To figure out what it is that you want, because some of us are so blocked that, like, the things that we would have loved to do as children, we think, oh, I'm gonna be an astronaut, I'm gonna be a police officer, I'm gonna be a scientist, whatever it is, and so, or I'm gonna, I'd like to surf or whatever. We often have these like big dreams and these big goals and these big wants as children, but then, slowly over the years we get stifled and we get told that, you have to live in the real world and be practical and all this stuff, instead of going after what we really want. And by going after what we really want, we get everything. We get literally everything we could want. Everything lines up for us. Everything works out perfectly when we follow our soul desire. So, yeah. Then, the next thing that I want you to do is write down a list of what you need to do to accomplish your list of desires. So you have your list of desires, and now I want you to write down a list of practical steps that you can take to accomplish those desires. So just give me a second. Just go ahead and write down all the goals and all the steps that you need to take to accomplish those goals. Okay. So for example, I came up with the idea for this this self-transformation challenge. I wanted to interact with you guys on a one-on-one level, teaching you in a video course, and I wanted to take you through the kinds of things that I do on a daily basis. So I created this course, and that meant that I had to make a list of all the videos I had to make. And so today I saw. So today on my list it says record the introduction to the morning practice. So today, after I just finished my morning practice, after I finished the morning practice, I looked at my list and it said to make this video, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, so by writing down your goals, just if you just do one thing every day, you'll slowly make progress over time. And it's not like it's overwhelming. It's not like you have to do 20 things today. No, just one thing. One or two things. Do as much as you feel comfortable doing, but at least do one thing every day to make a progress towards your soul desire. So, I want you to make a list because now you know what you want. So you now have to take actions that will help you achieve your goals. So once you know what you want, you need to make a list to help you take actions to achieve your goals. So here's another example. Let's see. Here's another example. Let's say you want to become Mr. Olympia. So the first thing you do is find out what your nutrition needs are, and you calculate your macros. You look for a gym, hire a personal trainer, hire a nutritionist, watch motivational videos of bodybuilders, things like that. Just take little small steps every day to accomplishing your goals. So now you've got your list, and every day at the end of the morning practice, you're going to get up and do at least one thing on your list that will move you just a little bit closer to achieving your soul desire. So every day doing something that moves you closer to your soul desire. And so you'll see if you do the morning practice on a daily basis and check things off your list, before you know it, you're going to be successful. You're going to be making money and living from your soul, doing what makes you happy. And trust me, it will come together. Like if you just do one thing a day towards your soul desire, everything will come together, and you'll change and achieve, your self-transformation if you do this consistently. By combining the morning practice and the one thing on your list, you'll actually see some progress in your life. So, figure out what you want and make an exhaustive list of all the steps that you need to take to achieve what you want. So as you start pushing towards your goals, You're going to have good days and bad days. Self-transformation is challenging and it's painful. Dr. Manhattan's transformation, was brutal. Bruce Banner's transformation into the Hulk was painful. Transformation is never comfortable. Transformation is never comfortable, but it is worth it. So, you'll go through the pain, and then you'll come out the other side, transformed and connected with your soul. So that's the whole point of this exercise. So let's see. So yeah, some days you're not going to feel motivated to do any of the practices, much less anything on your list. But that's why the list is there, to keep you on track, to keep you moving towards your goals every single day, and that's what gets results. Yeah, it's true. Doing something toward that progresses you towards your goal every single day will have results. So on the days that you just feel like laying in bed and eating Cheetos all day, get up, look at your list and find one thing that you can do. For instance, today I didn't feel like editing videos, but at least I can record this intro video and go back to, playing video games and watching YouTube videos all day. So now let's talk about the specific exercises in the morning practice, so you know how to do them. So we begin with the 3 cleansing breaths. And for this, all you do is inhale deeply through the nose and exhale all the air forcefully out your mouth. So that looks like this. Like that. And you'll repeat that 3 times. And this practice is basically like wiping your hard drive clean, and getting it ready to be reprogrammed. So then we'll move on to the alternate nostril breath, alternate nostril breathing, and so you just take your right thumb, you would block your right nostril like this, and inhale through your left nostril. So it go like that, and then you would block your left nostril with your index finger and exhale out through the right. So out through the right, then inhale through the right, so, and then block your right nostril with your thumb and exhale through the left, like that. So here's what that looks like. So you would just repeat this for a minute. So here's what this looks like. So it's okay, and you would repeat that for a minute. Okay, moving on to the spinal twists. So we would do spinal twists. We'll do spinal twists, and they can be done sitting on a stool, sitting on a chair or sitting on the floor. And what's most important when sitting on a stool or chair is that your feet are flat on the ground and your knees are at the same height as your hips or slightly lower than your hips. And that you're sitting on the front of your chair and not sitting on the front of your chair with your back straight, so it's not up against the back of the chair. So yeah, you're going to sit, so if your knees are like this, if your knees are up, then that's not good. You want them down, so like that. So you would be sitting, with your back straight, knees out, and kind of down a little bit. So your feet flat on the ground, and your feet should be, or your knees should be like level with your hips or slightly below them. And again, sitting on the front of your chair, so you're not like up against the back. You're sitting like with your butt on the edge of the chair. So yeah. Let's see. So yeah, you would have your back straight and off the back of the chair. So what you're gonna do is take your hands like claws and hook the thumbs behind the shoulders. So like this. And you would just go, twist. So you're gonna have your arms like that, and take your hands like claws, hook the thumbs behind the shoulders, and the rest of the fingers in front of the shoulders. So yeah, just like that. And then now with your spine straight, just twist gently to the right, to the left. So you're going to twist to the left. That's this way for me. It's probably that way for you guys. Or probably this way is probably right for you guys, and left is probably this way for you guys. But this is my left, so I'll twist to the left, with my hands on my shoulders. Twisting to the left, and so when we twist to the left, we inhale. And when we twist to the right, we exhale. So, both of the inhale and exhale is done through the nose. In this practice, we never breathe through the mouth. Never do it. Just because your nose is how you're meant to breathe through, So I will go ahead and show you guys. Hold on. Okay, so I'll just read through the notes here real quick. So take your hands like claws and hook the thumbs behind the shoulders. Rest the fingers in front of the shoulders, and so now with your spine straight, just twist gently left and inhale, and right exhale. So and you want to go as far left as you can and go as far right as you can. Just don't be careful. Do it nice and smoothly. You don't want to hurt yourself or anything. So you're twisting gently to the left and inhaling through the nose, and exhale out through the nose as you twist gently to the right. Just get into a rhythm, a rhythm that you're comfortable with, and go as slow or as fast as you need to. So I would recommend going going slow at first, just going very slow. Watch, I'll show you guys real quick. So yeah, just going nice and slow, hooking the hands. Inhale left, exhale right, inhale, exhale. Just like that. Just going left and right with your spine straight. And yeah, that'll really allow the Kundalini to rise. Okay, so yeah, just get into a rhythm that you're comfortable with. Go as slow or as fast as you need to. So once you get comfortable with the movement, you can kind of speed it up a little bit. Just make sure that you're not like, twisting like fast and jerking your spine around. That's not good. So let's see. So yeah, it's important that however fast or slow you go, there should be no jerking motions. Your movements should be very smooth and comfortable, and your spine might pop, or whatever. But like, if you're doing jerking motions and if anything feels uncomfortable in your spine, just stop, or I would say just stop, or go, very slowly, very deliberately, just back and forth. You don't want to, injure your back by doing this exercise. That's not good. That's not gonna help. So it's important that you just do it nice and slow. If you're experiencing any pain or anything. So let's see. Yeah, it should be very smooth and comfortable. Once you get in a good rhythm, you'll really start to feel the energy flowing through you. And I'll show you what this. Oh yeah, I just showed you what the spinal twists look like. It was just my notes were reminding me to do that. Okay, so then next we go to stretching Cobra. So this exercise is called stretching Cobra, and if you're familiar with yoga, you'll know what the Cobra pose is. Basically, in this exercise, we're going to do we're doing a stretching Cobra. So to begin, place your hands under your chest like this. So it's, your hands are under your chest like this. Okay? So you're going to, push yourself up with your hands under your chest. And so you're going to place your hands under your chest, and it's important to note that we're not pushing with our hands. So when we do the stretching Cobra, and you guys will have to subscribe here if you want to see the actual exercises. That's over here. So when we do stretching Cobra, we don't use our hands. We don't use our, we're not like pushing up with our hands. We're pushing up with our back muscles, it's actually our hips. So, so yeah, it's important to note that we're not pushing off with our hands. Instead, we drive the hips into the ground, and so basically we're if this is our head and this is our hips, we're driving the hips into the ground. So we're driving the hips into the ground, lifting our torso up off the ground, and using our arms for support. So yeah, we drive the hips into the ground, flexing our back muscles as we rise. So we're going, flexing the back muscles and pushing the hips into the ground. We use the arms for support and stability as we lift ourselves off the ground. We lift our torso off the ground with our hips and back muscles. When we stretch, it's like trying to get our chin to touch the ceiling. So when we stretch, when we go up like that, like this, we're actually putting our chin up, trying to get it to touch the ceiling, basically. So yeah. What's next? So when you stretch, try to get your chin a little bit higher each time you go. So each time that you're stretching, you're trying to get that a little bit higher each time. So we're each time we stretch up, we're inhaling, and each time we go down, we're exhaling. So inhaling deeply as we stretch up, and exhaling as we come down. And remember, we're inhaling deeply through the nose as we stretch up, and exhaling out the nose as we come down. So all the breaths are through the nose. Then we lay with the chin on the ground, breathing long and deep through the nose. So we're just gonna lay flat on the ground with our chin touching the ground. Just inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Remember, every inhale and exhale is through the nose. So, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, then we come into our kneeling prostration pose. So the kneeling prostration pose is like we're kneeling and we are basically reaching out in front of us, touching our forehead to the ground. So you're going to start you'll start with this pose by getting on your knees and sitting back on your heels if you can. So you'll want your butt to touch your heels if you can. If you can't, like I know I can't do this, but some people are more flexible than others. My instructor even has injuries and he can't do this, but it's still a good exercise. Like you'll benefit from it even if you can't, if you aren't the most flexible person. So yeah, your butt's going to touch your heels, and you'll stretch forward with your hands in prayer pose. Prayer pose is like this. You'll just stretch forward, and you'll basically be stretching, putting your hands on the ground in front of you. So you're like kneeling with your hands on the ground in front of you with your forehead touching the ground. So yeah, stretching forward with your hands in prayer pose as your forehead touches the floor. then just, when you're in that position, just breathe deeply through your nose. And as you breathe deeply through your nose, this will allow your back to stretch out. So all of the breaths that are mentioned in this exercise, we're not only breathing through our nose, but we're also breathing down into our belly, our navel center. So, yeah. So when you breathe into your navel center, this will allow your lower back to stretch out. It'll like basically pull the spine, stretch that spine out. So the combination of stretching Cobra and the kneeling prostration pose. So remember, stretching Cobra was the previous exercise where we push ourselves up and reach the ceiling with our chin. So the combination of that exercise and this kneeling prostration pose really allows that Kundalini to rise and the energy to be sent to the third eye. So when your Kundalini rises, the Kundalini energy goes to your third eye and your crown chakra. So yeah, it's good stuff. So now we'll move on to the triangle pose. We'll come to the triangle pose. So with your legs straight, so you're going to be standing up for this pose. So with your legs straight and your hands and feet flat on the ground, so you're basically with this pose, your head, your legs and your torso are forming a triangle. Like your legs are here, your torso's here, your arms are down on the floor, your feet are flat. So your arms and feet are flat on the floor. And so you're in this triangle pose, and that basically stretches out everything. So with your legs straight and your hands and feet flat on the ground, your body forms a triangle with your hips at the apex. So your hips are going to be at the apex of the triangle. And so it's important to remember to breathe through this stretch. This is one of the more challenging stretches that I've found in this practice. So just remember to breathe through it and breathe through it, always breathing through the nose once again. Okay, so you should feel a good stretch in the back and the legs and the lower back. So the back of the legs. So yeah, you'll feel a good stretch in the back of the legs and the lower back. One thing that I would say is to please remember to keep your feet flat on the ground, because it's, in the past I've had to raise my heels. So instead of keeping them flat, I've had to, raise my heels. But that's not good either. So you need to keep your feet flat. And the more you keep your feet flat, the more you'll feel that stretch on the back of your legs. So yeah, you should feel a good stretch on the back of the legs and the lower back. And when you're done with that posture, just stand in a relaxed posture and breathe long and deep through the nose. And that will allow the energy to flow throughout your body. So then we'll come into seated Thor pose. So this is a seated pose. This is something that I found to be incredibly powerful to open up that heart center and to gain more energy in the body. You can do this posture standing, sitting. So you can do this posture standing, sitting on a chair, or sitting on the floor. And all you do is put your arms straight out to your sides with your palms facing down, which I'll show you. Okay, so all you're going to do for this pose is you'll be sitting on the edge of your chair, so on the front of your chair with your back straight. And all you're going to do is put your arms out to the sides, like this. And just breathe long and deep. And remember, your hands are, your hands are like flat, basically. So your hands are flat, parallel with the ground. So that'll bring energy into the hands, and that'll open up the heart center. So it's a really good exercise. So yeah, just put your arms straight out to the sides and with your palms facing down. That's what I mean by palms facing down. They should be, facing down like that. So sitting in that posture, so when you're sitting in that posture, just breathe long and deep in and out through the nose. You're going to want to remember to breathe because that's what keeps that energy moving. You can actually breathe through the pain because I find that your deltoids and your shoulder muscles all get really sore when you do this exercise. And that's good. That means that it's actually having an effect. So let's see. Yeah. So in the morning practice, in the actual video, I explain 2 very powerful ways to chant the runes. And you can either chant the runes by themselves, you can chant the actual runes, like Raito, Manaj, Dagaj, Salwal. So you would chant them. The runes are Raito, Manaj, Dagaj, and Salwal. So you could chant Raito, Manaj, Dayaj, Salwal, like that. Or you can just chant these syllables for the runes, which are Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. So you could chant it like this. Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. Okay, like that. So let me explain what these runes mean, what those mean, and they're really powerful. They're really powerful runes and really powerful seed sounds, really powerful tools that you can use to connect with your soul, connect with your mind, and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and explain what they mean. Okay, so let me just scoot up. So Raito is the rune. So Raito is the rune of the right path. it corresponds to, rites and rituals, because it sounds like rite. So it's raito. It corresponds. It's the rune of the right path. It's the path of this, the path that the sun takes through the sky. So the sun is on a path through the sky, right? And that's the path of the sky, the sun. It goes in the same path every day, So yeah, so let's see. So Raito is the rune of the right path. It's the path the sun takes through the sky. It is the path of your soul. So it's the path of your soul. It's your destiny, your dharma. It's your orlog. It's your highest purpose. So in Old Norse they had a concept called orlog, and it's basically like dharma. If you don't know what dharma is, it's basically your destiny, your path in life, your highest purpose, your, like, what your soul was meant to do on this earth, kind of thing. So yeah, then manaj means, oh, so hold on. So basically with Raito, by chanting Raito, we are stating our intention to follow the path of our soul. And then manaj means moon or mind. It's the meditative mind that reflects the light of the soul. And Westerners, when we hear the word mind, we think brain, but our brain is our intellect. Our mind is actually in our heart. It's the heart mind. So that's the mind, and it reflects the light of the soul. It's our meditative mind, our, getting to our true essence. And so, yeah, it's the meditative mind that reflects the light of the soul. So by chanting Ra and Ma, or by chanting Raito and Manaj, we are balancing the sun and the moon, the soul and the mind, the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. And so, by chanting either Raito and Manaj or Ra and Ma, we're balancing the two. So now we'll move on to Dagaj, or Dayaj. It's really pronounced Dagaj, but in our Western, pronunciation, I tend to pronounce it Dayaj, without that hard G. So Dayaj is the light of the midday sun as it hits the earth, and so this is really a earth empowerment rune. It means being completely enlightened by your soul as you live in the moment. So yeah, Dayaj is timeless perfection, living in the moment, living according to your soul, following the true path of your soul, and enjoying your soul, enjoying the light of your soul. And then finally we come to Sabu. And soul is the infinity of your soul. This is where we want to operate from. We want to always be operating from the soul. This is the whole point of this practice here. The self-transformation challenge is to open up the heart center and get you operating from your soul. Okay? When we're operating from the soul, we do constructive things for ourselves, like taking actions towards our goals, and we are less likely to do destructive things for ourselves, like, like eating terribly and just eating junk food and wasting time on meaningless things. So when we follow the path of the soul, we are connecting to the soul, and we like everything. So basically, when we follow the soul, everything wants to serve us. Everything lines up perfectly. So let's see. So yeah, soul is the infinity of the soul. This is where we want to operate from, because when we live to please our soul, everything in existence wants to help us. So there's actually a yogic chant that fits perfectly with these runes. It goes, Ra, the moon, or sorry, let me start that again. So it goes, Ra, the sun, Ma, the moon, Da, the earth, and Sa, infinity. Yeah, so Sa is infinity. So Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. So, and then you can chant that in, just like Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, or Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, or you could even put a tune to it, like Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, something like that. So yeah, you can play with it and experiment with it, and see what works best for you, or see what resonates with you best. So let me see here. So yeah, and then after that, after the seated Thor pose, then we go on to the prayer pose. So with prayer pose, so in prayer pose, all we do is we bring our hands in prayer pose to the heart center, and we breathe long and deep. Just breathe long and deep from through the nose into our navel center, or into the heart center, actually. And we're really feeling the energy we raised in the heart center. So we're really connecting to that heart center and feeling the energy in there. And so next I'll talk you through, so when we're in that prayer pose, I'll talk you through different affirmations that tell our unconscious mind that we have the freedom to create the life that we want. Because that's the truth. No matter how stuck you feel, no matter how burdened you feel with with life or whatever, Like, no matter how stuck or whatever you feel, like, it's true that, like, we have the freedom to create the life that we want. And so it's up to us to take the actions toward creating that life that we want. And when we take the actions towards creating that life that we want, the universe will bless us. The universe will help us. Will have things line up for us in a perfect way. So yeah, then after that we go into corpse pose, and corpse pose is just we lie down. Lie down in corpse pose. We lie down on our back, so we're lying face up on our back. And we just lie down on your back with your palms touching the floor. So you're just gonna lie down with your palms touching the floor. And you'll just breathe in long and deep through the nose. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your belly. Let that energy circulate. And yeah, so that's the corpse pose. So now, yeah, this is that's the last exercise of the morning practice. So when you finish the morning practice, go do at least one thing on your list, which moves you closer towards your soul desire. Once again, the self-transformation course is available on Patreon, patreon.com/GeboTheShaman. That's patreon.com/GeboTheShaman. That's right here. You can just type in that link, or I'll have the link below in the description. So if you haven't subscribed to the self-transformation course, it's totally worth it to at least try it out for a month and see if you like it. And it's not like you're paying $500 for a big package deal. It's only $55 a month, and if you don't like it after a month, then please feel free to unsubscribe. It's no big deal. It's just $55 a month. I've made it very affordable. I'm not the richest guy on earth, and I could afford that. So yeah, if this is a priority for you, then please, subscribe. If your spiritual growth and transformation is a true priority for you, then, do what you gotta do and subscribe. But you don't have jeez, I can't talk. So you don't have much to lose just by trying it out and seeing what kind of results you get. I mean, it's $55 for a month's worth of exercises and spiritual growth, meditations. Right now as we're talking, as I'm speaking to you, I have the phase 1 up. So that means this morning practice, I have the morning practice, I have the midday meditation, and I have the nighttime qigong practice. And the nighttime qigong practice is really what's going to transform you. This morning meditation is meant to empower you and connect you with your soul, but the lightning qigong, the nighttime qigong, is going to really open up your pericardium meridian and remove all those traumas, and you'll discover that you're more energetic by the end of that practice, and you're if you do that practice consistently, you will have much more energy. A lot of people drink coffee, at at 2 in the afternoon just because they feel like crap, that's the wrong move. You just, I know some meditations and some qigong practices and some breath work and pranayama that can really do much more than coffee does for you, just in a few minutes of doing a certain technique, by getting that energy into your body. So yeah, it's really powerful stuff that I'm teaching here. So yeah, it's worth giving it a shot and subscribing for a month, trying it out and seeing what kind of results you get. I promise you that there's nothing to lose. As long as you do these practices, you'll gain a lot, like much more than I'm even telling you here. So yeah, this practice has changed my life. It's helped me get healthier physically, emotionally, mentally, and that's why I teach it. I wouldn't teach something that doesn't work, guys. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't waste my time, because I'm concerned most with self-transformation, with going beyond your limits, with as my instructor would say, becoming an immortal, with going beyond your limits and really tapping into that infinite power of your soul. That's what self-transformation is all about. So yeah, this has changed my life. It's helped me get healthier physically, emotionally, mentally, and that's why I teach it. I wouldn't teach something that doesn't work. And I guarantee you that if you just do the morning practice every day for the rest of your life, you will connect with your soul and get better at following the true path of your soul. And that's what the morning practice is meant to do. It's meant to tap you into your soul and empower you and get you, in the right state of mind to get you ready, to get you prepared for the rest of your day. That's what this is meant to do. So go to patreon.com/GeboTheShaman and subscribe to the Self-Transformation Challenge today, right now. Go do it now. Click that link right now. Go. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. We will see you very, very soon, hopefully. Yep, I'm actually starting to upload more consistently and more regularly. So, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.